swimming at the pool tonight, or what? John's normal.
What'd you say?
Am I swimming at the pool tonight?
Yes.
Welcome to the Township of Springfield, County of Union, State of New Jersey, meeting for April 30th, 2024. Notice this meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the township website. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by American Legion Post 228 Vice Commander David Penna.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for a moment of silence for our soldiers overseas and at home. Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Weber,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Present.
Committeeman Capides,
Here.
Committeeman Huber.
See,
Committeeman Kaiser is absent tonight.
Okay. We have the Springfield residents age 55 plus calendar for May. That is available right now at the Chisholm Center and at Town Hall. I'm looking at the calendar. It is a full calendar filled with bingo, pickleball. We have a blood drive, I see on the 17th of Friday, 17th of May on a Friday, 1:30 to 7:30. Please attend if you can. There is a shortage still of blood, and they can use all the help they can get. 2024 municipal budget presentation will be held Wednesday, May 8th, 10:30 in the Margaret Bandrowski Meeting Room, and Thursday, May 9th at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall Courtroom. Please attend. Please. We'd love to see you there. There's a lot of information that will be given. It is Wednesday, May 8th, 10:30 at the Margaret Bandrowski Meeting Room at Chisholm Center, and Thursday, May 9th at 7 o'clock p.m., Town Hall Courtroom right here. And here we go. Springfield First Aid Squad, Every Drop Counts blood drive, Friday, May 17th, 2024, from 1:30 to 7:30 at the Chisholm Center. Appointments encouraged. Walk-ins are welcome. Municipal Clerks Week is going to be May 5th through 11th of 2024. We will be partying here literally 24/7 that entire week. I don't know if any work will get done here, but we're going to make sure that Township knows how we feel about our clerk, Ms. Donnelly. National Association of Letter Carriers will be conducting an annual nationwide food drive. On Saturday, May 11th, letter carriers will collect non-perishable food donations as they deliver mail. Very nice. Any questions, contact Daniel Scarfone at 732-986-6220, I think. We'll get you the full number for that one. We have Michael Saraceno, presentation for Eagle Scout Project at the library. Come on up. We would love to see anything you have, absolutely.
congratulations.
Yeah, that's really hard to earn. Thank you.
So I need township approval to start an Eagle project at the library, which would be a major restoration project we would get rid of a lot of like the overgrown plants and replace them with low growth like dwarf plants and generally just beautify the library. So we'd achieve this in multiple different areas, like the Mountain Ave entrance sign, the walkway and general entrance, and the main entrance sign. The Mountain Ave entrance sign, we're not going to do too much work on. We're just going to repaint it, replace the shrubs there, and add a solar-powered light. The walkway and general entrance, we're going to put gravel in, put a flower bed or gravel, depending on what the library wants. Refinish the benches, and just generally get the area looking cleaner. And finally, for the main entrance sign, we're going to get rid of a lot of the overgrown areas. There is a full color copy of them floating around.
Looked cool.
Who has that? It has, you can see the old library, well, not the old library, but the library of the past and how it looked. We're almost trying to get it back to that. So we're gonna clear out all this old growth plants, again, replace them with lower growth plants. That's really it. I'd like to note that the library already approved this, so.
When's it proposed to start?
I'd like to start around May 17th, ideally.
Will you be doing this by yourself, or?
No, we would have a lot of, about 10 volunteers on site,
Lot?
yeah.
Yeah.
It would not just be me, that would be.
How long do you anticipate this to take place?
The main workload would be about a month, I believe, and then then some planting may happen after that, but I'd say the main workload is about a month long.
Well,
If you want to postpone college, our DPW is hiring, like, I'm just saying, like, great work.
yeah, I have to say, you know, I had no idea that this project was coming. And I passed by yesterday, actually, and I looked and as I was driving by, I said to my wife, you know, there are certain spots over here that could use a refresh. And what brought you to this? You just felt the same way? Like, why the library?
I had a lot of positive experiences there, and I thought I would give back.
It's a really nice way to give back, because we have a lot of people who attend this library. Library always kind of, you know, needs a little help here and there, because a lot of it is volunteer. This is fantastic. Does anybody have any questions?
How long have you been in Scouts?
Yeah, basically.
What is your favorite part about being involved in the Scouts?
Probably camping.
Yeah?
Because you get to go in the woods.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you, part of your roles and responsibilities is also training the younger members? So what are the types of things that you train? Or what do you think the most valuable lessons to train the youth that are coming up to be, you know, as someone being a leader yourself? What are some of the important aspects of scouting that you want to treat or teach the young ones?
I think leadership is the most important one.
What? I'm sorry.
I think leadership is the most important one. So, like, you try and seed them in leadership positions and, like, get a taste of it.
What grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Junior. And you're senior next year, Jonathan Dayton?
Yes.
What do you want to do after you graduate?
Not sure yet.
It's okay.
I was looking at, like, engineering, but I have no clue, really.
That's awesome. And not only community service is part of your Eagle Scout project, but something like this on your resume, whatever you want to do, is absolutely fantastic. Volunteerism, giving back to your town, taking pride in the town where you live and you grew up. Those are all excellent aspects of this project, outside, separate and apart from this endeavor. I think this is fantastic. I think that the library will certainly appreciate your revamp of their landscape, and I wish you all the best, for sure.
So this project is feel like we're grilling you. This is all really good, I promise. This project is in order for you to get your award of Eagle Scout. So when you get it, after you do this project, the township would love to host you for a party, invite your friends. We would love to do that. We'll make sure, like, our congressman is notified, our state senators, all that. We're gonna give you all a bunch of fancy paper. It's gonna be awesome. But thank you so much. This is awesome what you're doing for the town. Thank you.
And I just want to say congratulations. I was scout many years ago.
How many years, Rich?
Oh,
6.
60 maybe, 50, 60. No, but Eagle Scouts were very few and far between.
Yeah, there's only a few every year, actually, throughout the states that make it, right?
Yeah, because, you know, you did it's a great thing you're doing.
If you find yourself in any situation over there where you're going to need some township help, give us a call. And
If you,
Just call me. I already talked to Mr. Betcher. We're standing by.
It already,
and if you need a recommendation letter, let us know.
Yep.
Don't hesitate.
And if you're ever short of help, I live with somebody who's also a scout. Yeah, I love to help out, I'm sure.
What's your son out there doing?
I'll make him do it if you want, all right?
yeah, you, thank you back there. You guys be
Very
proud.
proud.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, keep us updated, please. Let us know. Congratulations. Thank you.
You have our permission, if that's what you were looking, I know you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right, before I go any further, if you're watching out there, you'll notice we've changed our look a little bit behind us. We've got a humongous picture. I'm going to try to get the history right. This came from the Wells Fargo building.
Yes, it did.
I'm out of information.
That's it.
Go ahead, what do you got for me?
Wells Fargo, I think, originally contacted, and I'm not sure if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think it was Margaret that they contacted
That is, yes.
to move the painting. They were thinking Wells Fargo was going to actually transfer it to Ohio, I think, to where their storage is. Once it left the building, it was never coming back. So I actually got in touch with Wells Fargo and said the township would love to get a hold of it. We didn't have a place for it, really. Margaret was going to try to do it maybe in the Cannonball House. We didn't have any place big enough to actually put it up. So with the help of Mr. Betcher from DPW, he pulled a favor and had somebody with a box truck run over to Wells Fargo and load it in a box truck. Our chief of police was kind enough to let us use the Sally Port downstairs, so we pulled it into the Sally Port. The next thing that we were wrestling with is, okay, now how do we get it into the building? You know, when you say 16 by, I think it's 16 by 6, when you actually see it, all of a sudden it was like, wow, it's big. So we got into the Sally Port, and the only way we felt we could get it into the building was bring it up on the roof. There's a lower roof over here where some of the air conditioning units are. Once we got it there, there's a side door. We were able to open up the side door and actually walk it into the building. We couldn't get it up the front stairs. There was no windows that we could even take out that were big enough. So we ended up taking it up to the roof. We just had to wait till it was a calm day and there was no wind blowing. So we managed to get it up. It's only up temporary now, as you can imagine. It'll be permanently affixed. Then a frame will be built around it, and hopefully it's there for the next 100 years. Depicts the Battle of Springfield. It was painted actually by a local artist in 1970.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, whenever I went to the Wells Fargo over there, I would look at the picture and you know, they had all of their cornerstone plaques all up on the wall and everything else, and this was up there, and very impressive looking. Like, and thank you, Wells Fargo, for letting us have it.
Yes.
You guys can, we're gonna go to public comment. Michael, if you guys wanna run for the hills now, if you don't, we're not offended, trust me. No one is, yeah. Thank you. Public comment on agenda items only. If we have any public comment on agenda items only, come on up. I did not see anything in the email, so I am certain that we were not emailed anything. And with that said, we have nothing, no emails either. We're going to move straight to reports to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to start off with the pool because I think there's a lot of people that are interested in what we're doing there. I just wanted to kind of give you a rundown on what actually is going on there because I think when you say resurfacing the pool, I think it's a little bit misleading. It's actually such a huge involved project. So just a quick rundown. And they've already done this. The tiles have been removed. The old plaster has been removed. They have to sandblast, water blast, acid wash. Then they replace all the tiles and they do the joints over. And then they put a bonding agent inside the entire pool. And then the resurfacing is done. We've already got the fire department lined up and we've already got an agreement with the people that own the property. There's a fire hydrant on, I think it might be J.C. P&L's property that borders us there. They've already allowed us to go in there and meter that, and we're going to fill a pool from the fire hydrant. The reason we're doing that, just so you know, is that this particular product cures underwater. So if we fill it with the garden hose, it's going to take a little while.
Or now, hopefully, we try to buy.
If we fill it from the fire hydrant, we're looking at 1 day. And then that will help it cure also much quicker. So that's where we are on the pool. They will be done somewhere around the middle of May. Pool will be filled and ready to go. So that's where we are on the pool. A couple things from engineering. We just did a grant with, there was a grant that came out from congressional spending grant. We put in for sanitary sewer related items for $985,000. We'll see if we get anything out of that. There was also one from Senator Booker's office. Yep. And we filed that also. That was for stormwater, and that was for $900 and some thousand. Again, not sure we'll get either one or we'll get anything, but we did apply for both of them. DOT grant is out. That has to be applied for by 7/1. We generally get about $400,000, and that's for roads in town. So we will be applying for that one also. The tennis courts at Henshaw, they've been stripped. They had to let them sit for a couple of days. They should be getting repaved, and that should be done. That's actually, the work is supposed to be put down the week of the 29th, this week actually. And then the color coding and the striping will have to be applied afterwards. We also had to put our annual stormwater permit. That's been done. And then I want to go on to, if I may, what's happening down at DPW, what we've been doing there. We had a shredding event recently, and Craig, this is something you and I need to discuss. We have to set up some parameters around how much people are allowed to bring. We had one person show up with 90 boxes of documents. And what happened was, then our other residents could not get their stuff shredded. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to put some limits and then put that in, I guess, an ordinance to limit what can be brought.
89 boxes. 89.
And I'm not so sure, and I'd have to talk to Mr. Betcher, but I'm pretty sure that was not a resident, but I don't want to be mean. But that will not be allowed again. The sewer line that was damaged on Morris Avenue was finally fixed. We completed that last week or so. The original cost that we had on that, with everything, it was $90,000. We ended up getting that done through, again, I give Robbie Betcher a lot of credit. We went out and found some other vendors that were able to work with us on the digging to excavate and the replacing of the pipe. Ended up costing us less than half. Scheduled project to be paved in '24. We have Christie, Milltown, and Smithfield. We had a meeting the other day with Milburn on discussing some more shared services. We're looking at what's called the resistograph. What that does, it allows you to actually, what they do is they bore into a tree with a 1/8 bit. It tells you if you've got rot, how hollow it is, that type of thing. So we can make sure that we don't have a tree that's going to cause us issues with possibly falling and we don't know about it. Once we see it, we're gonna do that to it. We'll be able to tell if it has to come down or not. We're also looking at splitting what's called the push camera for our sewers. We'll split that, and we're also looking at what we need as far as either a new sewer truck, either that or there's another piece of equipment for our sewers that we might end up splitting. Speaking of sewers, I know there was a question, Chuck, you had a question on RVSA. I just wanted to touch on, and Mike Furchi is with us. He is our commissioner on the board that represents Springfield. RVSA is owned by the towns. It's not they're not a vendor of ours, technically. We own a piece of it. What the costs are based on, it's a 5-year rolling average of how much water we put through there. So it does vary. If in those past 5 years, you've had more, you see an increase. We also are responsible, Mike, jump in if I'm wrong anywhere. If there's maintenance that needs to be done or something needs to be replaced, everybody shares in the pain. So you got a 30-year-old plant, and I don't know how familiar you are with sewer plants, but I have a lot of experience with them. Add a bunch of zeros after whatever breaks. They're extremely expensive. And you're governed so strictly by DEP as far as, the quality and what goes out on the other end. It's very tough. Now, if there are more questions that I can answer, Mike can answer, and if not, the gentleman that runs the board, I guess you call it there, John Bonacore, would be willing to come in if we have enough residents that would like to hear further explanation. So if there's anything else, Mike can answer tonight. If not, we can have somebody else come in. Let me touch on a few other things, if I may. We're also, DPW, we're in the midst of cutting all ball fields, maintenance of the pool, we're getting the grass and everything ready. We're working on that. I'll touch on our developments. We were in court with Gomes again, not last Friday, but the Friday before. I don't know if anybody noticed, but the court made him add an additional crossing guard up on Morris Avenue. The signs that Captain Rachel had put together somehow disappeared over time, and the court ordered them to put all of the directional signs back up. Sidewalk closed, pedestrians this way, yada, yada, yada. We've got another meeting, and I think it's May 10th, I don't have the calendar in front of me, with the independent construction manager. At that point, we will have a date on when Caldwell should be reopened. We also just, on kind of a down note a little bit, we end up fining him the other day $2,000 for not getting an inspection done on the sheathing. They put the stone cladding up without the sheathing being inspected. So our construction official, which is, just so you understand, it's not our responsibility to call them and tell them they need an inspection. It's their responsibility to contact us. So they did not. He went over and inspected, and we're going to have to figure out whatever he needs to be assured that that sheathing is what it needs to be, will be done before Anthony Manguso signs off on it. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on Gomes. I think you will see, though, if you take a moment and look, they are making pretty good progress. We're actually, it looks like a building, and they are moving along pretty well. The Saks property, they're actually starting to rent the apartments May and June. That will begin, so that project is going to be completed very, very shortly. We have nothing further on Scotty's yet. Mike Mistretta and myself are still working on the architecture. We're not satisfied at this point, and we will not bring it to you until we feel it's something that we would be extremely proud of. It's just not where we want to be yet. Other than that, I think that's all I had at the moment. If somebody has any questions or comments, I would be...
Out of curiosity, people asked me, I was over there the other day, Ruby, the back of Ruby, way in the back, there used to be a basketball court.
Yep.
Has there been, I know the trees have to come down.
Yep.
I know that we talked about that. Has there been any discussion about that? I know we're supposed to, it's a fill-in job, right around for all.
We did look at that. I actually had our engineers out there looking at the topography, water, et cetera, et cetera. We did that, but we never went any further at this point because the trees need to be removed. We've got to take care of those ash trees. So at some point, we are going to have to sit down and figure out what it is we would like to use that backfield for.
People asked me, and I remember us talking about it. We haven't talked about it in a while. All right.
But yes, we are going to get to that. Unfortunately, as I think we all know, nothing's cheap. And to take all those trees down, we're looking at, a lot of them we're not capable because they're just too big. So when you go to an outside person, it gets to be very expensive.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further?
No?
Thank you.
Department heads' monthly reports were emailed. And move on to minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to move to approve the regular and executive meeting minutes of January 23rd, February 13th, regular meeting minutes of February 27th, special meeting minutes of March 4th, regular and executive meetings of March 12th, regular meeting of March 26th, and the regular meeting of April 9th.
Second,
Well done, Ms. Donnelly. Well done.
Favorite assistant now.
On Clerk's Week, no less.
No, before. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have to abstain. I was not here for one of them. I'm just not sure which, but I'm sure it was one of them.
All right, we'll move on to new business ordinances, second reading.
Ordinance 2024-05. This ordinance is to establish a cap bank for the calendar year 2024 pursuant to NJSA 4-45.14.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to move ordinance 2024-05 with publication in the local source on April 4th, 2024.
I'll second. But
Sure that's April 4th?
No. It was
May 4th.
just to, let people know, we do this every year. We have to do it. Is it by law?
No. Please. You're on. Now you're off.
Right, yeah.
Now you're on.
Now you're
Now you're off. Now you're off.
Not required by law, however, it's strongly recommended, because therefore, if you have a year in which you are, appropriations are too high and you need a little extra borrowing from prior years, you're allowed to do this. It's just a mathematical
All right, I just want people to realize that it's done every year here. Up here. Thank you. Okay.
Okay,
Public comment.
public comment, any public comment at all? Township ordinance 2024-05. Seeing none right now. Anything up here additional?
No?
No? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis.
Yes.
Mayor Weber.
Yes. Okay, first readings, we have none. We're going to do resolutions by consent agenda. If anybody wants a resolution pulled, please pull it as I'm reading, and we will handle it afterwards. Resolutions 2024-107, 2024-108, 2024-109, 2024-110, 2024-111, 2024-112, 2024-113, 2024-114, 2024-115, 2024-116,
Pull this.
2024-117, 2024-118, 2024-119, 2024-120, and that's it. I get a motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, resolutions 2024-107 to 2024-115, and from 2024-117 to 120.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis.
Yes.
Mayor Weber.
Yes. Okay.
Resolution 2024-116. This resolution authorizes a salary increase for Maureen Connell, Deputy Municipal Clerk.
I'll make the motion. But before I do, I just want to publicly say for the record, Maureen has done a tremendous job working for the town as the deputy clerk. She started and has grown into the role of deputy clerk. You know, she took her RMC exam last week. Let's hope she passes. You know, she has done an exceptional job helping Linda, Tamara, Diane, and John run the town. And this is long overdue, and kudos to her.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Mayor Weber.
Yes. All right, we're going to move on to discussion and action items. We have a request.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to approve the request from Jonathan Dayton High School for the use of Ruby Field as the overflow parking for graduation on Tuesday, June 18, 2024 at 6 p.m. And they do this, they have this request of us every year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are two people up here who have two people graduating from Dayton this year. Your daughter and my son. Yep.
Yeah?
Does that mean you guys need to abstain?
Time flies. Time means time goes way too quick, man. That kid was 5 years old yesterday.
Mine turned 18 yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, finance treasurer, we're gonna pay some bills with Deputy Mayor Laufer.
You stole my line. I was going to take Alex's line. Let's pay some bills. Mr. Mayor, I would like to move payroll and invoices for the period of April 10th through April 30th in the amount of $9,290,689.57.
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Laufer,
Yes.
Committeeman Huber, Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Mayor Weber.
Yes.
Also, the March budget, pool budget, March revenue, and March pool revenue reports for everybody's viewing pleasure.
Okay. We have, one thing I missed over the first, the announcements in the beginning. Wednesday, May 15th, we've already had coffee with a cop. We are now having pizza with the police. If anybody says we're not witty up here, they need to look at these things. We have pizza with the police, Wednesday, May 15th at TD Pizza from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The last one was pretty good. I think you had a pretty good turnout, Captain, right? So we look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, this is a good chance to kind of pick the brain of the police department, of some of the officers and the brass that will be there. They will be more than happy to answer your questions, and you'll be enjoying some pizza with it. Second thing, the 2024 third quarter estimated bills due August 1st, tax bills, will be prepared starting in May and will be received by taxpayers no later than June 30th, 2024. Please note, these bills hold the same status as a regular bill, and payments are due by August 1st, 2024. Please feel free to call the tax office with any questions regarding this matter. This was always a question, but it is August 1st, 2024 is the date.
And may I add one thing to that so people understand? We only start the process, we don't mail them out. So I know last year, I think the bills actually arrived on like Father's Day. If it ends up happening, it's by coincidence. We don't mail them, we don't plan it. It's when they just happen to get there.
Thank you. All right, now let's move on to public comment on any governmental issue. this is like a free-for-all if you want. Public comment on any governmental issue. Come on up, state your name, address, and
Does this work?
Top one.
Top one, okay. Scott Horowitz, 74Q Drive.
down if you want. You can bend it down if you want.
I'm fine. I'm loud enough. So I like to walk around town with my dog pretty frequently. In the last month, 3 times I'm walking on with the white, I almost got hit. One time, if another car didn't honk their horn, I'd be dead right now. Like, that's how close this woman came to taking me and my dog out. I just want to know if there's anything we can do to like pedestrian safety. This was at Hillside and Mountain as well as Shunpike and Mountain. Those 2 intersections are just death traps for pedestrians. People are turning left and right. They're not looking. I don't know what you guys can do, but I was hoping Chief Cook would be here, but just.
This is Jeff.
Captain Rachel?
Yeah.
He runs the police department.
But yeah, just,
You're not on. Now you are.
We just got finished doing a distracted driving operation through grant funding. The next one we're going to do is pedestrian safety. So those will be some of the spots we'll be hitting.
thank you.
And I could just tell you from personal experience that I have let the captain know and the chief know of 3 separate incidences that I was witness to. Probably one in the fall, one about 2 months ago, and one as late as, or as early as 2 weeks ago, where I've witnessed firsthand situations or concerns that I had between vehicles and pedestrian crossing, and I had made my thoughts and my concerns known to the police chief and staff, so they are very much aware of the situations as they occur, and they are currently addressing the problem.
All right, great, thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay. Any other public comment on any governmental issue?
Can I just make a comment?
Please.
If I'm wrong, tell me, Harris. With the budget that's going out, we had a committee of a lot of civilians. We asked everybody, we didn't just say, oh, we're doing it, with their help. And they had input, am I correct?
That's correct.
And so it's not just us that's doing it, it's everybody that's doing public and that.
Can you actually fill us in a little bit on what your meetings consisted of before we've wrapped this up?
Sure.
And just let us know what is going on. And
So, chaired by Committeeman Kaiser and myself, we, along with our Administrator, John Basicolo, and our CFO, Diane Sherry, we had a committee, the Citizens Budget Review Committee. One of the members is in the audience right now. Thank you. And what we did is we kind of dissected the township budget. We talked about various strategies to try and save money. And Diane, I think, illustrated that those sessions proved to be pretty helpful. And there were a lot of questions asked about the budget. Why are things the way they are? And it served as a really good platform to kind of workshop how the town is operating. And there were a lot of questions surrounding other aspects of the town, such as library, Board of Education, and we had to direct those questions to the right places. But we worked as a committee of 7, and I will publicly thank that committee when we do our budget hearings. But we worked as a committee of 7 to go through how the town spends the money and try and implement strategies to save the town money. And I think, with the help of this committee, we achieved a much lower increase than we did last year.
No, thank you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but.
No, you didn't. You're good.
Just let the public know.
Yeah.
No, listen, I think what we all fought with last year was involvement. And you had 5 up here who were saying, hey, we want people involved. Unfortunately, by the time decisions were made and things happened, we had not seen the involvement that we wanted at the level we needed. We took a step by forming this committee to try to get everybody involved with a proper heads-up notice, and I think it worked. I think we had a very diverse group of people up there, with all sorts of different backgrounds, and I'm looking forward to it. I will, to seeing the presentation.
And I would just like to give a shout out to our fire department and our EMS and the rest of our first responders. Last week, I had a non-emergency medical situation at my home, which required an ambulance. And obviously, there's a lot of people just from our relationship in town that know what street I live on. They obviously didn't know what house it was, but it didn't matter because they were there in 2 seconds. They were professional, they were courteous, they were thoughtful. They gave distractions when it was certainly necessary to do. And I've always said it before, I certainly appreciate our first responders, and I'd like to sincerely thank them personally, as I always do up here for everything, just for their diligence, for their hard work, for their response, and for just, being good human beings and great customer service to our town.
I would like to echo that sentiment. I was just recently involved in a motor vehicle accident, and I will tell you that PD, Sergeant Christopher, Officer McBratney, and Captain Kakuza, and the ton of people who were there with him, as well as Springfield EMS, were all tremendous. They were professional and courteous. So kudos to you guys, and thank you for all you do.
One other thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
Lots to say tonight. No.
Linda, you said you like going 4 here.
First, Linda, I've known you for many years.
How many years, Rich?
I just turned 50. No, but Linda, you do a great job. I remember when you were appointed, so that's how long, whatever, with that. But thank you very much for your help. I've been in Chris's seat. I've been in every seat on this board. I just want to thank you. Also, I'd like to thank for the Rotary Club on Sunday. It was a great success, the fair over at the pool. I don't know how many people went, but it was there. It was crowded. Abu was there, you were there. But a lot of people showed up from town. The band they had there was great. Yeah.
The 1910 Fruit Gum Company?
No.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
No, but it was good, and just want to thank the people for coming in, supporting it. That's all.
I didn't process that 5 to 11, and I was going to save my love for you until the next meeting, but I'm looking at the calendar right now. Linda, when we first got on, I wish Alex was here right now, because you're the first person we went to. And we were like, where did the other people mess up? Or what do we do? What are we doing? And your first word of advice to us was, leave the department heads alone and let them do their thing. They're here for a reason. And there's not been a lick of better advice I've had than that, than to let the department heads do their thing, and everything else will fall into place. And you're pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
So Linda, as a present on Clerk's Week, I want to get you out of here by 8 p.m. So I will move to adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye.